Good morning, dear students. We started with joint stock company. Today we are going to discuss merits and demerits of joint stock company. First merit of joint stock company is limited liability. The shareholders are liable to the extent of the amount unpaid on the shares held by them. See, when a company issue the shares, company don't call for all the money once. They call all the money in some installments. So installment 1, 2, 3 in this way. So when a shareholder gives first call or second call of the money, whatever is unpaid, means for example from 10 rupees, shareholder has paid 6 rupees and 4 rupees are pending and shares price is rupees 10. He or shareholder is only liable to the unpaid amount, means his liability is limited to the amount which he wants to or he wishes to invest in the company. His personal properties cannot be in any danger and personal properties are free from any charge. So this reduces the degree of risk borne by an investor. Number 2, transfer of interest. See, we can easily transfer our ownership to the other shareholder in a public company, not a private company. This I will explain you later on. There are a public company, private company and one man company in your syllabus, which I will explain you later on. So shareholders can easily transfer their share in a public limited company to other person, means they can easily sell their share in the market. Another biggest advantage is perpetual existence. Permanent existence means existence of a company is not affected by the death, retirement, resignation, insolvency or insanity of its members, as it has a separate entity from its members. Means many members will come, many will go, but company will stay there. Number 4, scope for expansion. We can always expand our business. See, when we want to expand in sole proprietor and partnership form of organization, we have to think too much because we need investment, we need more people, but a company has a large financial resources, so capital can be attracted from the public as well as through loans from the bank and financial institutes. So there is always an expansion of there is always a scope of expansion in joint stock company. Another advantage is professional management. A joint stock company is not managed by the owners, the shareholders. It is managed by the professional management, those who are expert in doing whatever the work they are doing, and they are specialized people. The scale of operation in a company leads to division of work. Each department deals with a particular activity and is headed by an expert. This leads to balanced decision making as well as a greater efficiency in the company's operation. Joint stock company has many limitations also. We will be discussing a few. Number 1 is complexity in formation. As I told you that to form a joint stock company is not an easy task. It requires greater time, effort and extensive knowledge of legal requirements and the procedures involved. As compared to sole proprietorship and partnership form of organization, formation of a company is more complex. Number 2, lack of secrecy. The Companies Act 2013 requires each public company to provide from time to time a lot of information to the office of the registrar of the company. Means you have to tell everything to the registrar of the company, and such information is available to the general public also. So it is very difficult to maintain complete secrecy about the operations of the company. Even the balance sheet also is shown to the public because public is investing in your company, so they should know where our company stands. Another limitation is impersonal work environment. See, when we talk about sole proprietor works for his or her business and they put full efforts to increase the business. But here there is separation of ownership and management. As I told you, owners don't run the company is run by the professional management. It leads to situation in which there is a lack of efforts as well as a personal involvement on the part of the officers of the company, because company is not run by the owner, it is run by the management which is hired by the owners or elected by the owners. So they don't put much efforts. So the large size of a company further makes it difficult for the owner and top management to maintain personal contact with the employees, customer and creditors. So there is impersonal work environment in joint stock company. Number 4, numerous regulations. There are lot of, numerous means many. The joint stock company has to follow numerous regulations by different agencies like registrar, SEBI, etc. We will be discussing all these points when we will be doing formation of company. So company has to follow number of rules and regulations which makes a company to survive in the market very difficult. So this reduces the freedom of operations of a company and takes away a lot of time, efforts and money of the people. Another limitation is delay in decision making. Companies are democratically managed through the board of directors, which is followed by the top management, middle management and the lower management. So communication as well as approval of various proposals may cause delay not only in taking decision but also in acting upon them. Sometimes we need to discuss with the shareholders, and shareholders are scattered, and these scattered shareholders they have to vote for some decision making, so which makes the decisions delay. Number 6, oligarchic management. What does this mean? That this means that the owners, they actually don't manage the work, because business is of owners, but they are not involved anywhere. So in theory, a company is a democratic institution where the board of directors are representatives of the shareholder, who are the owners. But in practice, most large size organizations having a multitude of shareholders, the owners have minimum influence in terms of controlling or running the business. Means owners, they don't have any power. Theoretically they are electing the board of directors, but the company is not run by the owner. For example, in sole proprietorship or partnership or Hindu undivided family business, the owners, they themselves are involved in decision making, but here owners are not involved. It is so because the shareholders are spread all over the country and a very small percentage attend the general meetings. The board of directors as such enjoy considerable freedom in exercising their power, which they sometimes use even contrary to the interest of the shareholders. So this is the biggest limitation of joint stock company. Another limitation is conflict in interest, because many people, many shareholders, they are involved, so there may be conflict of interest among various stakeholders of a company. Now what is the meaning of stakeholder? Stakeholder is a person who has interest in the company. So stakeholder is a broader term. Stakeholder involved employees, it involves government, it involves suppliers, it involves shareholders. Means anyone who has interest in the company is known as a stakeholder. So the company, for example, may be interested in high salaries, consumer desire high quality product at lower prices, and the shareholder want high returns in the form of dividend and increase in the value of the shares, but company may take another decisions. So there are many stakeholders which are involved in the company, and there may be conflict in the interest because everyone thinks of themselves. So there is conflict of interest in all these. Dear students, as homework, separate assignment will be sent today and you have to complete it in your fair notebook. Thank you. Have a nice day.